Ever notice how some stories just kind of grab hold and don't let go? They pop up everywhere. Books, plays, movies, you name it.
Like they strike a nerve.
Exactly. And that's what we're looking at today, a story that did just that back in the early 50s.
Oh, and creeped everyone out in the process.
You bet. The Bad Seed went from novel to stage to screen almost overnight. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into William March's twisted tale and its wild ride through pop culture history.
Sounds fascinating. I'm ready to dive in.
So picture this. 1954, The Bad Seed hits bookstores and boom, instant bestseller. I mean, it even snagged a National Book Award nomination.
Which, for a thriller about a possibly murderous little girl, is saying something.
Right. Talk about pushing boundaries. I mean, the story revolves around this picture-perfect girl, Rhoda, who might just be behind a classmate's death.
Oh, I see where the Bad Seed title comes in. But think about the context for a second. Post-World War II America, everything's shiny and bright on the surface, the whole nuclear family ideal. But underneath, there's this current of anxiety.
Makes sense, right? The Cold War, the Red Scare, this underlying fear that things weren't as perfect as they seemed.
Exactly. And the Bad Seed zeroes in on that, asking, what if evil isn't something you learn, but something you're born with? What if it's just there, lurking beneath the surface?
Chilling stuff. And get this, that very same year, 1954, The Bad Seed hits Broadway.
Wow. Talk about a quick turnaround.
Right, and it wasn't some forgettable flop either. The play was a smash, over 300 performances. That tells you something about how strongly the story was resonating.
Absolutely. You had Broadway in the 50s already tackling these big, uncomfortable truths in plays like Death of a Salesman or A Streetcar Named Desire. The Bad Seed brought those anxieties about inherent evil, nature versus nurture, right to the stage. Audiences were confronted with it head on.
And just imagine the conversation sparked as people left the theater, right? But the story's journey didn't end there. 2 years later, in 1956, Hollywood came calling.
And why not? The story's a natural for the big screen.
Totally. Mervyn LeRoy, a director known for tackling tough, gritty subjects, took the helm.
And don't forget Patty McCormack's performance as Rhoda. Haunting. She really solidified the image of the creepy kid in pop culture. I mean, an Oscar nomination at that age. She brought the chills.
So from page to stage to screen in just a few years, The Bad Seed captured the anxieties and fears of a generation. It makes you wonder, what was it about this particular story at that particular time that resonated so deeply?
It was the perfect storm, really. Post-war anxieties, the challenging of societal norms around childhood innocence, that age-old debate about nature versus nurture. The Bad Seed brought those fears to the forefront.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It makes you think. Would this story have the same impact today? Have we become almost desensitized to these themes? Something to ponder, right?
Definitely. Times change, but those questions about good and evil, about what makes us who we are, those never really go away, do they?
Nope. And who knows, maybe the next Bad Seed is already out there, just waiting to take root in our collective imagination. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into The Bad Seed. Until next time.